After days of going back and forth, wondering, will he stay, will he go, we finally have our answer. Tony Vitello is San Francisco bound. Frank Rock, House of Orange TV, hit that like, that share. If you have not, hit that subscribe as well. Let's get into this thing here. What I felt has been ever since it came out on Saturday that they were finalizing the deal, it's felt like this is the way it was trending to me the whole time. And I've said it when it first come out a couple weeks ago. And this ain't a told you so or nothing like that. But when his name got floated out of the gates, I said, there's a reason for this. This did not happen by accident. Here we are more than 2 weeks later where people didn't want to believe it. It's, he's not going anywhere. All that fake news. And it was real. It was very real from the get-go. And here we are today. Tony Vitello to San Francisco. First of all, thank you, Tony Vitello. You made Tennessee baseball a thing. You made Tennessee baseball relevant for the first time since Rod Delmonico in a long damn time. Thank you to Tony Vitello for that. It's been a lot of fun. It's been a blast. This guy has totally earned this opportunity to go to the majors. I don't give a shit what anybody tells me as far as the majors versus Tennessee. I'm Tennessee through and through. I love Tennessee baseball as much as anyone. At the end of the day, though, when it comes to the majors versus college, there's no comparison. And yes, Tennessee fans are pretty rabid fans, but let's be real honest about it. A lot of the Tennessee baseball fan base have been here for 4 years. San Francisco Giants fans have been around a heck of a lot longer than that. I'm just being totally honest on this because there is a part of me frustrated with the hate for Danny White, the hate that's gone toward the Lady Vols because of all the rumors that are out there. But let's sum this thing up and thank you to Giants fans who's come in. Totally got a new fan here. And I can assure you this, any Giants fans out there, you just gained a pretty rabid fan base of your logical Tennessee fans. I will say that. The ones who are happy for him, who understand this, they're going to become San Francisco fans as well out there. I was already there because of Drew Gilbert, my favorite Vol that there's been, even much more so. Now, let's look at the options now. I've not heard the length of it. This was reported by Pete Thamel earlier on of ESPN. Jeff Passan had they kind of worked together on that to identify it. Then your Mike Wilsons, Eric Canes, etc. They verified it. You've already got hot boards out on VolQuest.com. I'll discuss that in a minute as well. But, how much of the rumors have been true regarding NIL, regarding things behind the scenes? I don't know. I mean, a lot of times where there's smoke, there's fire. To me, in the grand scheme of things, though, there was a relationship between Tony Vitello and Buster Posey, and it acts like these things have just happened recently. When Andrew Baggerly of The Athletic first put that article out and mentioned Tony Vitello as a candidate, sent shockwaves through Rocky Top, he specifically said, and people ignored this aspect of it, this is what told me this thing was real from the get-go, and people wanted to ignore this. He specifically stated Tony Vitello was out in Colorado when the Rockies and the Giants played, and he didn't come out and necessarily verify it, but he said it is very possible and it seemed likely Tony Vitello and Buster Posey had met then. There was a relationship then. Yes, it's been reported San Francisco's first target was Nick Hundley. He turned it down. They pivoted. They shifted from there. Had it not been for the two ACL American League Championship Series games on Sunday and Monday, you may have heard an announcement sooner. But Tony Vitello continued to go about business. I'd seen it just a few minutes ago. It said that apparently he has now addressed the team based on what I've seen. I'd gotten a text from a parent of a player that he had not addressed the team at that point. So I don't know if it was something where it got broken before he could get there or what, but it really kind of sucks that players and parents are finding out through the media opposed to that. That's my one beef with this. But again, it seems like it has been addressed at this point. I'm not sure if all the players were there or what. Details are still out there. I'm trying to get content out. Obviously, there's no new head coach name, no interim or anything that I'm aware of at this point. But Yeah, this is a tough one today. This is a tough one. But with the right hire, Tony Vitello has laid the foundation for Tennessee baseball to continue moving on, to continue being successful. I can assure you right now, the talent that's in Knoxville, here's what we know on it. Grad transfers can transfer and play next year. Current guys can transfer, but they have to sit out 2026. I'm not saying I agree with that, because football seems to be able to transfer whenever the hell they want to and be eligible immediately with it. Seems like, and especially considering the circumstances, considering the season is 4 months off. That's a tough one. That's kind of a tough one for me in the event that Danny White does not go with Josh Elander, which I'm going to talk that in a minute. I'm starting to wonder on this one. To me, Josh Elander, putting him as the head coach is the no-brainer. If any of this stuff is true about the beef between Danny White and Tony Vitello, if any of it's true, I still don't know the validity of it. But if it's true, you got to think Danny White may wash his hands of the whole Tony Vitello staff. That's going to, I'm not saying it's the right thing. I'm totally in the camp. Give Josh Elander the job and let's keep this thing rolling. That's totally where I'm at. But if any of this, beef is real, it might make sense that Danny White goes out and gets his own guy on this. I don't necessarily know that's the right thing, but I will say this too. I trust Danny White to get the job done, whether it's Elander or not. I can't speak for anyone else on this. I trust Danny White to get the job done on this. So candidates obviously within Josh Elander, no-brainer to me on that one. But the names I have seen mentioned, it's some pretty interesting names. At volquest.com put it. Another one that would be really intriguing to me. Some friends, I've seen other people put this out. Chris Burke. Chris Burke has been mentioned. He was mentioned back, I think, around the time Tony Vitello was put in as possibly being a candidate. Is Chris Burke a candidate or not? He does a great job on ESPN calling games for the SEC. He does College World Series. He does college baseball games just around the country, especially tournament time. Chris Burke is high level, though. He is very, very intelligent. He's a Vol legend. If you go outside of the Vitello family tree, Chris Burke to me makes the most sense. All right. Again, I'm in the camp. I want Josh Elander because I think you keep this thing rolling. In the event that they don't go that route, though, Chris Burke to me. And he has no managerial experience, obviously, but he's a sharp guy. I think he would come in and do a good job there. Chris Burke, as mentioned, Oregon's coach, Louisville's coach, Murray State, Coastal Carolina, Wright State, Austin Peay. That's the ones that are there. The ones off that list I would be interested in if you go beyond Josh Elander. Number one is Chris Burke. I'm assuming it's Wasikowski from Oregon. He's done a good job there. Dan McConnell at Louisville has done a good job. That would be an interesting one. Skirka, I think that's how you pronounce it. I apologize if I got it wrong, from Murray State. Schnall from Coastal Carolina. Those would be some pretty strong options. I'll be honest with that. Those guys have won at those programs. They would have more resources available to them, regardless of what the fan base wants to tell you right now. Danny White has put in a new stadium down here. Tennessee is getting recruits left and right. I don't know all the specifics in regard to NIL, and I don't think a lot of people speculating on it do. There's some that probably do. Tennessee's got one of the top budgets it is for baseball, regardless of what's being said out there. This is a tough day. There's going to be a lot. I'm probably just going to try to search for names in regard to this and avoid social media for the most part today, because it's going to be bad. It's going to be really bad right now. You know, people were pissed from the weekend with the Alabama game, and now this, all that in the same day. People are upset. I get it. I totally understand it right now. It's going to reach a level. It's not very logical today with it. But I will say this. I think it's a bittersweet day for Tennessee, and I say this in this regard with it. And you feel free to disagree with me or not. I'm looking at it from the standpoint of he didn't just go to Arkansas. And I'm not one of these, Here's one that's firing me up too on it. People are like, well, he's going to San Francisco to fail, and he'll be at Arkansas in 3 years with it. Why are you so upset he's leaving then if he's going to go somewhere and fail? I've got the utmost confidence that Tony Vitello is going to San Francisco, and he's going to kick some ass out there. I have full and total confidence he's not going there to fail. He's not going to be afraid of the Dodgers. I don't care who the Dodgers has right now. San Francisco has talent. You get the right guy in, he's going to mesh with that clubhouse. If you watch that team play at the end of last year, that looked like a Tony Vitello team with that energy and what they brought to the table with it. If he surrounds himself with the right staff in the majors, I'll be curious to see if he takes any of these Tennessee guys. He won't take his full staff with him, but it's already been mentioned, the relationship between him and Max Scherzer. Well, Scherzer's going to be a free agent. It would not be a shock to see him sign with San Francisco, and it's almost like you're getting an on-field coach there. Jace Tingler, who was a bench coach for Minnesota, it's believed he's in the running for that position. Apparently, they played together at Missouri. That's a guy that could come over with Vitello as well. Couple pretty good, Scherzer's not a coach, but he's almost like an extra coach in that regard. Tony Vitello, I imagine he has some contacts as well in the majors. So he did this in Knoxville. He surrounded himself with the right guys. He went and got Frank Anderson, who's been there the whole time with him. He'll surround himself with the right guys in San Francisco as well. I can assure you he's not going there to fail and just so he can go to Arkansas in 2 to 3 years and not break the Tennessee fans' hearts. In the event that he does not succeed and he, gets fired there, yeah, he'll be able to come out back and get a college job easily. The flip side of that is when he goes to San Francisco and succeeds, and if you're still one of these saying the San Francisco Giants are not a historically great program, you don't know what the hell you're talking about on it. Set it out. Go back to where you were with baseball 4 years. Yeah, I'm a little animated on this one for a lot of, not because Tony's leaving, because of just reactions, things I've seen and understand. The Giants is a heck of a team. They've won, 3 titles in 15 years? You look at their history, going back to even when they were in New York back in the day. They moved to San Francisco with it. San Francisco Giants. Look at the players who've played there over time. Look at what this franchise has done. I'm not saying it's the greatest of all time. It's pretty dang good, though. It is pretty dang good. San Francisco Giants franchise. They have money. Money's obviously not an issue because we're paying Bob Melvin $4 million in a buyout. I would imagine they're paying Tony Vitello's $3 million buyout plus whatever his salary is going to be. They had to have paid him more to come out there. You look at the players that they're paying big money to. Around the time, it was believed they were getting Aaron Judge when he was a free agent the last time, and Carlos Correa the last time he was, and it ended up not going through with it. This is a strong franchise, though. They're not going to be afraid of the Dodgers and Padres, and I don't care who they have on it. You get the right guy in with it. There's players out there to compete with those teams. It's going to take a lot to get past the Dodgers right now, but it doesn't have to, Rome wasn't built in a day either. Tennessee baseball with the right hire will get things right. One thing, and I've said this before with Danny White, before he came to Tennessee, it's been an everything school since he's been at Tennessee. When he was at Central Florida before, all the sports were flourishing. Everyone on baseball, football, basketball, women's volleyball, softball, et cetera, et cetera. Danny White's not going to neglect Tennessee baseball. I can assure you of that. He has not neglected Tennessee baseball at this point. We don't know all the details behind the scenes on it. I most certainly don't, but I know, is there some funds that's been messed up? Who knows? There's been so much out there at this point. But with the right hire, Tennessee baseball will move on. You've got it in place. You've got a killer weekend rotation set up this year. You've got a lineup of just killers in that lineup this year. Tony Vitello did everything he can do in Knoxville. I'm grateful for him. I'm grateful to him for what he's done for the program, for making it where a guy like me can talk Tennessee baseball, because 4 or 5 years ago, people would not have cared they would not have cared at all about it. Without Tony Vitello, this guy here may not even be doing a YouTube channel. I can tell you that much, because doing Tennessee baseball is the main reason I want to do it. Thank you, Tony Vitello. I wouldn't have this channel if not for you. I wouldn't have a lot of the subscribers, the support that I do because of you. Thank you, Giants fans who have come in, who've commented, who've been awesome, through this whole thing. Very, very complimentary. I can assure you, the logical part of the fan base just became San Francisco Giants fans. You just gained a lot of them today. And this guy, I can't go against the Braves, but I can assure you a close second will be the San Francisco Giants. Matter of fact, I already had the hat. So go Tony V, go Giants, go Vols. That's the last thing I got to say. It's not the last thing I have to say. Tennessee baseball will keep rolling. They'll keep rolling because of what Tony Vitello has brought. Them and LSU are the top two programs in college baseball right now. I don't think there's any argument on that. Tennessee, whether it's Josh Elander or whether it's somebody else, they'll get a good guy in here. I can assure you of that. Frank Rock, House of Orange. I'll see you when I see you.